You testified last week to the Subcommittee on Immigration Integrity, Security, and Enforcement, and now you're raising flags, Charles, that we are getting an enormous number of illegals coming into the country illegally, right, which are foreign nationals, which are a threat to our safety. Can you elaborate on that, Charles?
Yeah, morning, John. Thanks for having me. Yeah, look, I can do this quickly. We've got three buckets. We've got the encounters, the 7 to 8 million. Nobody truly knows what those numbers are, where CBP is encountering these illegal immigrants making their way across the border, and there's just no effective way to vet all of their backgrounds. That's a fact. Everybody in national security knows it. We don't share information with all these countries, over 165 different countries now where these folks are coming from. And then you have the other two buckets, the gotaways, where CBP is not able to apprehend, so we have no way of knowing who these people are at all. And then there's the third bucket where there's people that are avoiding detection altogether making their way into the country. The last two buckets probably account for anywhere from 4 to 6 million people. So who's coming into the country? We know encounters of those on the terrorist watch list are up to almost 200 this year. That's probably about a 300% increase year over year. So this is all very concerning. And look, as a country, we've never faced so many threats at any one time as we do right now. So we better wake up.
Charles, detail the seriousness of this threat. Are they coming here in case there's a war? They can be disruptors or infiltrators. Are they coming to wreak havoc now? Are they coming? Is it Al Qaeda? Is it CCP? What is it?
Yeah, it's all the above. Look, if we start with the last one you just brought up, Chinese nationals, we've got a 900% increase of Chinese nationals being encountered in the border and let into the country. So if we're looking at, in terms of what you're talking about, the start of a traditional war, it may not necessarily start with a missile being launched from China. People need to realize this. This war may actually start from inside the United States, disruption to critical infrastructure, sabotage, and other things. So, that's a threat, a Trojan horse that we're allowing to just march right into the country here. And as far as the other terrorist organizations like ISIS, Al Qaeda, look, the cartels are currently working with the CCP to kill hundreds of thousands of Americans through fentanyl. So why is it such a far-fetched idea that the cartels would work with any other adversary, to include terrorist organizations, to kill even more? This directly undercuts the recommendations of the 9/11 Commission and the very purpose of why the Department of Homeland Security was created in 2002.
Let me ask you something, Charles, just a straight-up question here, right? If you know this, the Biden administration has to know this. Mayorkas has to know this. The bureaucrats in DHS at the terrorist desk, they have to know this. In fact, I was talking to somebody off the record this weekend who works there, high security level, tell me off the record that they're now tracking terrorists that were outside the country that they know are now inside the country. So if they know this, what are they doing about it?
Yeah, this all started back with the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. Remember, we allowed 5,000 Afghan refugees, the majority of which should never have boarded those planes from Bagram Air Base to make their way to the U.S. And these folks were completely unvetted. It is an open secret in D.C. that the policies of this administration are undercutting every policy and program put in place in response to the attacks of 9/11. They know that they undercut every agency that's out there each and every day as part of trying to protect our homeland. So what are we doing here? And it just does not seem to be a priority. Look, we've said it's a humanitarian disaster. The administration doesn't care. We say it's a threat to national security. They say they don't care. We bring it up to sanctuary cities, start enforcing the law, stop protecting these people. You're serving as a pull factor, and they don't care. So, at some point in time, this administration needs to step up, do the right thing, instead of completely abandoning their federal responsibilities to secure the border and enforce the immigration laws, two major pillars that are needed to protect the country.